Good afternoon, Sasha.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. How are you?
So you're welcome on the Tech Talk Show this afternoon with me. So first, how about let's start by people learning a little bit more about you now. So please introduce yourself so the listeners can get to learn a little bit more about you.
Well, my name is Sasha, and I've been in an industry since 80s, and doing with computers since Windows NT version 3, and currently I'm working with Azure and security. So these are two my topics that are my favorite, and then and the one that I deal with every day. I work with almost since version 3. I work with every version of Windows OS so far, and I also do security consulting and Azure consulting and architecture, and I've been also an MCT for a long time, and I'm also Azure MVP and MCT regional lead as well. And so yeah, and EC Council instructor as well, and so on. So
Okay. So that's very good, Sasha. Thank you very much for that. So I'm sure people would like to know if building a career in Microsoft Azure Security is a good choice. Is it, Sasha?
oh well, yes. I mean, if you're in a security, it's not just Microsoft, so you have to deal with everything else, because it's not just that you only that you will encounter these in the Microsoft product. So you have to be a little bit also on the other side as well. So yes, Microsoft has a lot of things to protect and to be in security, because the Microsoft products are one of the most of the ones that you encounter the most. So it's these are the often the Microsoft products are the most of the ones that people have. So along with some Linux versions and others as well. So these are not homogeneous environments, so you have to know a little bit about other things as well. But
Yeah, okay. So can you tell us, Sasha, what does an Azure security professional do? Or maybe I should try to also rephrase it or put it this way. You're an Azure security expert, right? So what do you do as a security professional?
but I'm not solely specialized in Microsoft, but actually I do security consulting and architecture,
Yeah, yeah.
and penetration testing and security assessment as well. And but I'm also doing the Azure architecture, and often I'm doing both of these two. So the synergy of both. But you have to be also very acquainted with other products as well. So since not a lot of companies have only Microsoft products. So
Okay.
but since I'm focusing on Azure, and I'm focusing on security, so yeah, some Azure security architecture is the byproduct of these two things, but there is more than that, of course. So there are often other products as well, but Microsoft is popular and security is popular, so best of two worlds, actually.
Okay. Okay. So let me also ask you this. If you have a person now with interest in cloud security or security generally now, but this person is without no knowledge of the cloud, no knowledge, that zero knowledge of security now, where would you advise that this person begin his career from? How does this person start? How do this person, how can this person begin?
Well, I'm a huge fan of certifications, and I also happen to be from this year the a member of Microsoft Certifications Advisory Board as well, and I've been taking certifications for many years now, And why I'm such a fan? Because first of all, if you well, today we live in the internet time, so a lot of things that you want to learn are already available online, and very often for free. So people that want to learn something, that there are a lot abundance of materials online. That's first. And then I'll suggest that they go and start with Microsoft Learn products, because these are the online courses as well, and any kind of free courses that they can grab. And because of the, I suggest that they set themselves the goal, so toward a certification. So why certification? Because first of all, you're going to learn something, aren't you? And then if you're going to learn something, then why don't just make yourself a goal, and let's say, okay, I'm going to have a paper about what I've just learned, and prove first of all to yourself, and then towards everyone else, that you've learned something. So I mean, you're going to go through the path anyway. So why don't have a paper that you can show an achievement, and then set another goal, and then set another goal, and then take as many certifications as you can. It's not about the certifications; it's about the path. It's about learning things. So, and it's about setting goals and achieving the goal. So once you get over that goal, once you achieve that goal, set another one, and then set another one, and along the way, and then you learn something, then you have something to prove. So, and then it's not about the paper, so you can buy the paper, but will that paper that you buy actually be worth? It won't, because sooner or later you have to work with someone, and you have to prove your paper that your paper is worth. So by just buying a paper, you are devaluating yourself and the paper itself. So, but if you earn it, if you learn about these things, so then the paper is valuable, not just to you, but to the others as well. And you won't undermine yourself by doing that. And I suggest that everyone starts going to aka.ms/learn. So there are many valuable resources. First of all, I suggest that they take AZ 900 and any kind of 900 level. That is the certifications and exams. So these exams are fundamentals. So passing fundamentals will actually give you the head start of what technology is and what is it about, and then you can start going from there. So there are a lot of books online, free ones, courses, certifications. There is huge documentation library just waiting for you to read and explore. And then yeah.
All right. So building on your, I know the markets most of the time want to employ people who are experienced, right? And when you have someone who is new and has newly acquired the skill, say call it Azure security skills now, and how are we sure that this person is also getting what the market is looking for? They are not just looking for newbies now, but they want someone who has the stuff, who can practicalize those stuffs, and with on-the-job experience as well. So what would your advice be, on this? People want to get a job, they've acquired the skills, but the market is saying, I want someone with experience. So how do we maintain the balance here?
Well, there are no you have to deal with small things first, and then and then gaining the experience along the way. I've worked with well, at some point of time myself as well. I haven't had any experience, so I started to build experience and working on small things, and then on bigger one. So I mean, the misconception about these certifications and everything is that once you are, let's say you have 10 exams or 10 certifications or 20, and that if you pass like 300 levels, and if you're some kind of architect and so on, that you will get the job. But that's wrong, because it's of course you need experience, like you said. But the point is that if you, for example, if you have 50 applicants, and out of these 50 applicants you have 25 that don't have any certification, then you have 10 that have like 2 exams, and then you have like 5 of you that have like 10 exams or 20 or certifications. So you will ensure that you will stay on the table, and that your CV is not going to the recycle bin, and then to the trash. So that's the first step. And then when you are there, then you have to prove that your certifications and your knowledge are valid. And you might get a chance, you might not get a chance to work with that job, but just don't lose faith, and just apply, and then show yourself, prove yourself, whether it's like a volunteering project, or if it's a small project, or whatever kind it is. Any kind of experience is good experience. So I suggest start small, and then if you don't have any paid opportunity, why just don't volunteer to do something? So that's also good. You are acquiring experience. So the point is here to get experience to be.
Okay. Thank you very much for that response. So I think we'll need to go on a short break right now, and we'll be back in a bit. And just before we go on the short break, in case that people would like to take some of these Azure courses, the fundamental courses that Sasha is recommending right now. So if you're a student listening to us right now, or you are listening and you're looking to switch career, so we have the LASO CBT, so we do offer some of the short courses, the Azure AZ900, like, Sasha rightly mentioned. So we'll go on a short break now, and we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, so you're welcome back. Again, it's still the Tech Talk Show with me, Kazeem, this afternoon. Again, I've got Sasha on the show with us, walking us through how you can build your career from zero knowledge to hero, on security. Right. So, Sasha, you're welcome back again.
Thank you.
Okay. So I want to ask this other question now. Is there one security solution that one would have to deal with throughout one's career as a security expert, or as a Microsoft cloud security expert now? Or are there multiple cloud security solutions that one would need to learn about?
Definitely more than one, I would say. You would have to go maybe through all of them. I mean, if nothing else. Well, you can't be expert on everything. So you can be expert on development and infrastructure, and and other things as well. And but if nothing else, then especially if you're doing architecture, you need to be very well acquainted with most of the tools, and know about the others as well. So probably you won't be such as good a developer or a database admin, or have a database security, but at least you have to know basic stuff about that, and get very deep on the other things. So maybe you won't know about the deep technology 400 level about databases, but at least from the security part, you'll have to know about these as well. So because it seems overwhelming and a large things to know, but a lot of things to know. But yes, start small and just expand, because security is not just one point, but it's the product. There are a lot of product securities. A whole. So
okay. So what are those? I know you mentioned some certification just earlier on when you were trying to explain But let me ask the question again. What are those Microsoft professional certifications that one would need to take that will qualify one as a Microsoft cloud security expert now? You know, what are some of those certifications that you would want to advise? And how long, in your opinion or in your experience now, would it take someone to transition from zero knowledge to hero in Azure Security or in the Azure Security space?
Well, first of all, fundamentals definitely, and then
Yeah.
there's the 500 certifications in Azure and in Office 365. So the Azure Security and Microsoft 365 Security will go hand by hand. So I suggest
Okay.
that someone pursuing the security will go after these. But these alone are not enough. I suggest that also some Azure and Microsoft 365 associate certifications also have under the belt. So I would suggest like 104, AZ 104, and AZ 500, as well as MS 500. This is the Microsoft 365. So these are specific security certifications, but that deal with just with the security part. But there are some others as well, like MS 100 and 101. So these are for the Microsoft 365. So a little bit, I would say, at least month or two or three, even with for an exam for a person that haven't had any experiences. But then depends on the person how dedicated this person is. So definitely to take like these five exams, I would say about a year or year and a half or something like that. Uh,
Okay.
Something like that. But depending on how much time you dedicate to your learning. So if it's just an hour or if it's like 4 hours a day, it makes huge difference.
Okay. Okay. So you'd hire someone who has been learning Azure Security for about a year to work with you on a project. Is that it?
If it knows, yes, but first of all, the certifications alone are not the proof. And yes, they're the
Okay.
proof of our dedication, and they're the proof that the person has learned something. But the best thing is to actually test that person. So and if the person has passed the test, so that's it. So that's what I've mentioned before. If I had like 50 applicants, then I pick ones that have a specific certifications taken other than the other one. So um, the ones with the certification would be my favorite, so I would go with them first.
Okay, okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
so you rightly mentioned that the certifications or the certificate isn't enough, right? So let me ask, or maybe your advice now on this. So what more does a person need to do for you to hire them? You know, what do they need to do more after getting certified now, just to ensure that they are really job ready, you know, to take on those security roles? What more do they need to do outside of acquiring the skill, you know, the classroom learning? What would you advise that they also do in addition to that, such that after they're out of it, they can really be job ready?
You mean just for the Azure or generally in the security?
Generally now.
I will have the curiosity and learn really good fundamentals, because without fundamentals you can't learn the most advanced stuff, and today people just skim through pages and think that fundamentals are not enough, and but you really have to know the OSI models and all the stack and the ports and how the things are are um, are functioning in the deep levels, of the basics. And it's not just about Azure and about the how how to provision something or secure things in Azure. It's about knowing deeper things and how things actually function in real world, how these bytes are and bits are going on the wires. So I would search for people who actually know how to explore furthermore and the curious minds and the logic minds as well. So the ones that are eager to learn and that they know the fundamentals very, very, very good. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Before we wrap up on today's episode, I just have two more questions for you. One is, what learning resources now would you want to recommend to anyone listening to us right now who is interested in Azure Security? That's one. And my other, what would be your advice to anyone considering a career in Microsoft Cloud Security? You know, this radio station is a community inside a university in Nigeria, right? So we have a number of students listening to us now. So what would be your recommendation? One, in terms of resources now, learning resources that they can leverage. And two is, what would be your advice for people considering a career in security or in Microsoft Cloud Security?
First of all, I'd suggest that CompTIA books are very, very good, and CompTIA certifications as well. So any kind of material that will help you with fundamentals would be the CompTIA books about the fundamentals, that is the A plus or Network plus or Server plus, and specifically Security plus. So that's the huge deal. And even if you don't go for these certifications, I suggest that read. And after that, I'll suggest that that you go and go through the official Microsoft Learn pages. So there are tons of stuff there. That's free stuff. And second, there's also the documentation side. So all these sites have free stuff available. And there's also a site on Microsoft Archives that also deal with very, very low and deep level and the fundamentals with it is Windows Server 2003, but it is free and it is very, very deep about how the things function on a server and client level. That will greatly help you with further learning. And after that, I'll suggest that you go through the labs that are available online on docs.microsoft.com and go through these. So if you first, I'll suggest that you go through the first 3 tiers. That's the storage and the network and compute, and go through through these labs. And after that, deal with security products on the documentation side. So that will be really there's a lot of material for at least half a year of studies, if not more.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. So you've heard it from Sasha himself, so the security specialist, Sasha himself. So thank you so much for spending time with us on today's episode, the Tech Talks show, Sasha.
Thank you a lot for the invitation.
Okay, so here's where we're going to call it a close on today's episode. So remember to subscribe. So it's the Tech Talk Wednesday across the social media channels. So on that note, it's a bye-bye from myself now and Sasha. So let's continue to keep safe, and we'll do this again next week. So bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.